What is up, everyone? It's me again, Gamerlush, with another episode of Final Fantasy, my first 15 with. Of course, we're going to be talking about job classes. Today, we're going to be talking about the one, the only, using the power of the five-sided fistagon, the Pugilist. That's right, people. He doesn't need weapons. You can fight with your swords, you can fight with your axes, your lances, your arrows, your magic. Pugilist doesn't need none of that. Doesn't need none of it. It cares not for your weaponry. All it cares about are these two babies. If you maybe have one arm, miss one baby. That's right. The mighty power of the fist is all the pugilist needs to take down his foe with the mighty strikes of the martial arts tactitry. Or tacticness. Tactitry? I was on a roll there too. Damn! Oh, cool. Like I said, guys, pugilist is fun as crap. I leveled mine up to level 16, but you don't get a new skill at level 16. I think you have a passive trait. We're here to talk about the first 15 levels and what skills you get to those levels. And as always, guys, raise your glasses, join me for a drink, and cheers. Alright. We're first talking about, of course, every discipline of war gets his barn, baseline, potence of 150 attack damage. But Pugilist is different. How so, you might add? You get first skill you get is an awesome 3-hit combo. Bap bap bap, the boot shine. Now this only hits of 130 potency. But as you are stance dancing during different forms, if you get into the Opal form, which I will get into detail after talking about these other stats. If you flank from behind, you always crit. So, if you're going to be a DPS, you always want to position yourself behind the enemy if you're in a group, or somehow maneuver yourself by running. If the mob is casting a long cast spell, you want to run around him and do this ability on them. And also, once you initiate the boot shine, you will change into the raptor form. Now, monks go into different forms or different martial arts stances while they are fighting. For them to initiate other attacks or abilities, they must be in certain forms. If they are not in this form, they cannot initiate the attack. Boot shine can be performed in any form. You can do whenever you want. You can initiate from the start, in, middle, whenever. Because it does not require a certain form. It all requires that you just hit it and the cooldowns down. That said, once you're in raptor form, you can do the second one. You get a level 2, which is called True Strike. That's right. It delivers a potency of 150. Chances of critting. So basically, unlike the boot shine, where you have to be in Opal form, you are in raptor form. You have a 5% chance of critting when you are behind the character. So a lot of these attacks have a lot of chance of critting. But you can only do True Strike when in raptor form. It's kind of hard to explain. Pugilist is a technical class, but once you get the hang of it, it's a really cool class to play with. Now, once you hit with True Strike, you will change into Cruel form, the cat-like whiskered cat creatures in Final Fantasy. You've seen, it's basically a staple monster you've seen. It looks like a cheetah, but with long catfish-like antenna whiskers extruding from their face. You'll see them in the game. Okay, so of course you want to go in with the 1-2 punch, boot shine, to go into true strike form, and then once you get into True Strike, it will put you in the cruel form, which will let you initiate other attacks. But at level 4, you'll get feather-footed, the light-footedness, where you can maneuver around. It gives you a 15% invasion chance for 10 seconds. This is for crucial times when you need to escape and you grab aggro because you're just being too awesome throwing in punches and you just couldn't watch your DPS there a little. Guys, that's your responsibility. If you're DPSing, watch your aggro. It's real simple. I know you want to be that badass person that, no, I must have all the damage. Remember, you're in a team. You're in a team group of people. Yes, you want to kill as fast as possible, but don't go overboard, guys. So if you do grab the aggro, Free Foot will let you get that chance to avoid attacks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And let's say you want to use your Pugilist as a tank. You can use those as being an evasion tank. So when shit starts at the fan, the monster goes into Berserk or Fury and just going attacking faster. You can bust that route real quick, and you can evade the attack. You have more chances of evading the attack. Later on, you get a trait called Enhanced Feather Footing, will actually increase the, instead of being 15% evasion, you can actually get to 25%. So you have a 1 in 4 chance of dodging an attack. Not bad, not bad. All right, going in, we're going to Snap Punch. That's right, Snap Punch will be from level 6. It delivers opponents of 140, 180 if delivered from the flank, the side of the from behind. Notice how a lot of its attacks are increased damage from behind. If I didn't know better, this guy would probably be taking the place of thieves and scoundrels, rogues, or whatever at this point, seeing how there's not an official thief class in the game. Unlike, well, yes, dragoons have that too, lancers, dragoons have it too, but it seems that a lot of the skills of the pugilist has more attack-wise from behind their flanking enemies. I like heavy thrust. All right. Okay, so you have to be in crew or form when you deliver the Snap Punch. So you can't just deliver right out the back. But the cool thing about this, you get to be in Opal, it'll change you into Opal form. So once you hit Snap Punch, you can deliver Boot Shine from behind for that extra, for that, the crit damage. I'm sorry guys, if you're to crit with, it doesn't, Boot Shine is not automatically crit. I'm sorry, it's increased critical hit damage. So if you do crit with the Boot Shine while in Opal form, it's an increased critical hit damage. I apologize. This is a really technical class to explain. Sorry if I lose you guys. I'll try to go over it again or review. All right, so True Strike, Boot Shine, into True Strike, into Snap Punch. Snap Punch Opal form. And plus, on top of that, when you deliver a Snap Punch, you'll give you Grease Lightning. Grease Lightning will give you an increased damage of base damage of 7% and attack speed by 5% base. So basically, you want to keep this buff on you for as long as you possibly can for 10 seconds. So if you're rotating through your combos, you can initially keep Grease Lightning buffed on yourself for the whole entire fight. If you know how to utilize your stances, you know how to utilize which punches to go into. They don't have a combo system like they do with the Gladiator or the Lancer or Marauder. Its combo system is stance dancing, basically. So putting in the different stances and managing that, which makes you think on your feet, because if you're a very mobile character, you can move around and dodge and what have you. So make sure you do that. So moving on, you get to level 8, you get a self-heal. That's pretty damn cool. There's another thing you can do. Shit hits the fan. I hit Featherfoot. I didn't get that chance to dodge, but if I'm getting a little low, I can heal myself. Instant heal for 15% of your total life. That's a whole 50% of whatever life you had. If you have 100 life, you get 15 hit points back. If you have 1,000 life, you get 150. Doesn't sound too much, but considering it's better than nothing, it is a oh shit kind of spell. And you're around, let's see here. There was a skill, I think you're around 20 or so. I'm not sure exactly when, the guys, don't quote me on this. I'm only doing the first 15, but you do get a trait that increases it from 15 to 25. Alright, so that's a fourth of your health right there. That's pretty damn good. Alright, now after that, you'll go into the level 10. Oh, level 10. It's Haymaker. This is a unique one. Now, you can only initiate this move after evading or dodging an attack. That's where Featherfoot would come in. If you dodge an attack, you can automatically counter with a Haymaker. The Haymaker has a potency of a 170. Pretty damaging ass move. Plus, on top of that, it slows the enemy that you're hitting. Cast time, attack speed, and what have you. So now on top of that you slowed them, he's like, oh, no, you ain't got this. Bam, Haymaker. It slows him. Does a brutal ass strike to the gut or whatever, to the head, and slows him down. So it's, nice counter. So, dude, don't miss on a pugilist. They'll strike back hard. Alright? Okay, so after that, you get a buff, another buff to yourself. So you're basically getting one buff, a heal, and now another second buff. So these are a lot of self-sustaining things, but this is a damage increase buff. Basically increasing your critical rate by 20% for 15 seconds. 15 seconds! And improve critical hit chance by 20%. That's freaking awesome. Speaking of awesome, cheers. Alright. So, yeah, it's like, so we're at the last 20% of the boss. We got burned down. Inertial release. Pick up a double shot from the archer, and raging strikes, plus a 20% increase of damage, plus 20% increase to critical hit, plus the initial hit from, you get grease lightning going, plus you get double shot going, which increases your critical chance for that. You're a mean, wrecking, destroying, meat grinding machine. That's ridiculous. So you're just throwing in punches as fast as you can. Now, initially, the monk is the fastest baseline auto attacker in the game. So they'll be putting in more auto attacks before you know, your lancer will be throwing in a thrust or an axe, or the gladiator will be swinging with a sword. So your pugilist maybe probably throw in about 2 hits before your gladiator lancer will get an initial 1 hit. This is auto attacking, guys. So yeah, the monk is called for constant combat damage. They're going move, boom, 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 boom. Skill, auto attack, skill, auto attack, skill. So there's pretty much a point to where a monk will not be attacking for point early on the game, later on, but early on it's a little slower than that. But after you start hitting those later levels, you're basically gonna be, there's not gonna be a point where you're not punching something. So it's kind of insane. It's a fast, cool class to play as if you're looking for like martial artists or whatever, you know. But of course they only can wear leather armor, so you know they have to rely on evading. If you're planning on tanking with this class, it is possible. Yeah, of course you can get all the other tanking abilities from the other classes, and ones that would reduce slow or debilitate mobs or whatever. Okay. Now after that, you talk to your master. You get a quest called Touch of Death. no, actually more like right in the get that quick snap in, hit them with that crazy ancient martial arts secret punch, and you think, oh, Touch of Death sounds awesome. I kind of wish they had used something else. It's basically a dot. Cool animation for it, but it has a attack potency. It hits them for initial attack potency of 20, but you know it does a damage over time with a potency of 25 for 30 seconds. Long ass dot, right? But so throw in a Touch of Death in there and then just start wailing on them. So initially, yeah, you'll never not be damaging this person between the dot, your skills, and your auto attacking. So, alright. So pretty much that's it, guys. Later on down the line, there's going to be more buffs. You're going to be going to like having Fist of Earth, basically increasing your defense. So another thing that improves your chance of tanking. You get a Stance of Fire that basically lets you become a monk. It will increase your damage by 10%. So if you're not tanking, you just be DPSing. But so far, this is a crazy ass class, so where it's like it has a attack for a lot of situations. You have to worry about stance dancing, so you can maximize your output of DPS as you possibly can. If you're tanking with it, worry about evasion, avoiding damage, reducing the damage, and constantly putting in that damage for hate, using flash around you, and it's just great. It's a good class to play as I leveled from 16. I really had a lot of fun with it. You know, and so with all the things that, going back to I usually go which skills you can share with other classes. So of course Featherfoot can be shared with so Gladiator or Marauder can pick it up for tanking, or actually any discipline of war can pick it up for tanking, or just evasion. Like, oh crap, I got aggro, let me hit this real quick so I can get some extra evasion. It kind of does not work for a lot of heavier armed classes because they just don't have avoidance or evasion very high in the list, but it does increase a little bit. So think about it, maybe just increasing your evasion on your armor or what have you. A second wind. You can use this for all classes too. Like I said, I was using this for my Thaumaturge and Conjurer, just for that little bit of instant cast healing. Seeing how the Thaumaturge is in the area where the Conjurer's not, and it needs some healing. It kind of needs some healing starting later on questing and leveling. Okay, moving on. The Haymaker. it is shareable, so Disciplines of War can use this, so Gladiator invades, or I'm not sure if it works for blocking, so I would have to check that out again. But of course, so the Gladiator can come in at the evades. He's like, nope, counter, and slows the monster with a good decent amount strong hit. Then Inertial Release is shareable too. So you get that crazy ass 20% to crit buff for 15 seconds for any Discipline of War and any. I'm not sure if it works for the Disciplines of Magi because it only says critical. It doesn't say magic crit. It just says a critical rate. I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, they share. I'm sorry. Crit is crit. Crit is crit. So yeah, it works for anyone. So any class can pick this up. I wasn't really thinking about because I wasn't really aware of the stats at the point. So I thought this is probably only for Discipline of War. Nope. You can use this for all the classes. It's really cool. It's probably almost a must-have for almost every class. So I could see almost everybody leveling a monk up until level 12 to get it. So that's another cool thing to do, and that's pretty much the class. Those are pretty much the only skills that are shareable. Guys, I'm glad you joined me for this time. I hope you have fun with the Pugilist. If you guys have any more questions about the Pugilist, please leave a question below. I know it's kind of a hard to grasp stance dancing. You start off with regular stance, Raptor, Curl, Oppo form. Those are the 3 different stances that you have. Each skill needs you to be in a certain stance to execute it. But once you start playing the class out, it becomes very easy and clear what you need to do. Excuse me, guys. And if you enjoyed your time with me, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I'll be going over the other classes. Do not fret. I'll be going over the other classes here soon, probably tomorrow or the other days. And as always, cheers and game on. With my first thing, first off, it was cool to have a 2-handed character and still had a little bit of survivability with it. And of course, like all classes, you get your first attack, basically True Thrust. It basically you hit him for 150 potency. But yeah, so that goes on later. Nothing really with the past traits that I've known I can really call right off the back of my mind. It's basically your fallback, what you basically will be attacking when there's downtime from your other cooldowns. So of course, right off the back, you get from level 2, you get Feint. Give an attack of 120, but it slows the target for 10 seconds. Now, when you think of slow, it's not movement speed wise. It's like Final Fantasy slow. Guys, if you're aware of the Final Fantasy universe, you have haste and you have slow.